This is the Sports Saga podcast, and it is presented by Al Dias Electric. Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. Brady Kudo here with you. Very, very happy and thrilled, and whatever positive adjective you want to use. I'm probably feeling that right now um, because of what is happening here. Okay. We are officially a part of the Fans Only Sports Network, and it feels really, really good. Um, so a huge shout out to Ron Robert, Matt Jolis, Chris Heatu, everyone on board who is allowing us to be a part of the team. Where is Keegan Hamlet and Tyler Sumner? Well, Tyler, I think, has food poisoning after some nasty chicken he ate last night. Keegan, I have absolutely no idea. I know he's alive because he was at Gillette last night. But other than that, I have no idea. So you know what? We're just gonna dive right into it. In social media promotion and everything like that, we talked about new, and this is part, the new software now using the StreamYard system and blah blah blah. But we introduced new segments, and we said that was going to be a thing. So let me upload the first segment. This was supposed to be Keegan's segment, by the way. We were calling it Keegan's Corner. And he wanted to recap the recent failures by the United States men's national team. So I guess I'll do it instead. Obvious disappointment. I mean, a draw to Saudi Arabia and a loss to Japan. You can't get much worse than that. Leading into the World Cup in November, right? I mean, Japan, that should have been a win. Like on paper, that should have been a win. 2-1, 1-0. I don't care. That should have been a win. And Saudi's a little tougher. I get it. But yet and still, I'm pointing blame at one person. Pointing blame at Greg Berhalter. He lives off of, the 4-3-3 is tactics and blah, 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 blah. Well, in a way, when you're playing for and hear me out before everyone's like, he's stupid or whatever. In a way, tactics don't matter when you're coaching a national team. And I say this, when you have a national team, you don't control who you have to a degree. You can't go out and, we need a center back. I'm going to go buy Virgil van Dijk. No, that's no. You can't do that. You work with what you've got. Walker Zimmerman, Chris Richards, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Eric, whatever. Tim Ream, who should have got the call up, but he didn't, whatever. So your formation and your tactics need to be adjusted to the team that you have that's in front of you. And does a 4-3-3 work? I mean, yeah, I guess it works. Would I don't know, a 4-1-3-1 or something? I don't know. 4-1-3-2, would that look better? Maybe. I don't know. But here's the point. The point is that Greg doesn't know what he's doing. He choked again. Now, I understand it's the same guy who brought us, the Nations League championship and the Gold Cup championship, blah, who got us back to the World Cup, blah, 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 blah. You just look at the free agent, the coaches that are free agents. The amount of sense it makes to fire Greg and go bring in someone. I'm not saying they're going to go get Thomas Tuchel or, I don't know, Pochettino. But you know what? To coach a national team, I mean, the chances have to be good. Maybe. So that's that. I mean, now you know what? At this rate, they're going to go out in the group stage of the World Cup. I didn't have them pass the round of 16 anyway. I think whether they draw Netherlands or Senegal, I think they're going to lose to either side. Let's say they get to the round of 16, but we know England's winning the group. And you look at Iran and Wales. I don't think Iran will make it through, but Wales, I mean, don't sleep on Wales. As crazy as that may sound, because they haven't made the World Cup in over 70 years, don't sleep on them. I mean, that's the only team that Gareth Bale seems to show up for. So if Gareth Bale could show up for Wales and Wayne Hennessy could be strong in goal, then you know what? I don't know. I'd look out for them. That does it for what was supposed to be Keegan's segment. We're going to get into Brady's Bunch, presented by the Gonzalez family team of Keller Williams, South Wauchopa. Roll Tide. Yes, 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 yes. Roll Tide, roll Tide, roll Tide. Look, I get that at one point the game against Arkansas was a one-score game. But you just put up 49 points. The majority of those being with the backup quarterback against it's a really good Arkansas defense. It is. There's no questioning that. You just put up 49 points on them? That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Do I have any concerns with this Bama team? No. No, I don't. I mean, maybe one concern might be Texas A&M. But yet and still, I'm like, but no. There's one team that scares me. It is just because of the defense. It's Georgia. But Georgia almost lost to Missouri, and they really should have lost to Missouri yesterday. So you know what? I'm not scared of Georgia anymore. I'm really not. Young has gotten a lot better this season, I feel like. I'm not saying number one overall pick in the draft material, not yet. I mean, that's still up for debate. But when you think about it, who else is better than Bryce Young to go number one? I mean, not Keaton Slovis or DJ Uiagalelei, or however you say his name. I think Bryce Young's the best quarterback in America. I mean, stats last year proved it, and the way he's going this year, that won't shock me either. But the biggest takeaway was how they responded and how they performed when Bryce went down. And I think as much as everyone was worried, I know I was worried, Jalen Milroe came on. And keep in mind, he's a freshman. Yeah, he threw an interception, whatever. But I like this kid to be the next quarterback in the University of Alabama. I really, really like it. Jahmyr Gibbs, awesome game. Awesome game. Prentice, Kobe Prentice, freshman. A freshman went for 3 receptions and 92 yards. Like, people don't understand how good this team is, man. They're my favorites to win the national championship. They are. Toe was great as usual. Dallas Turner, Jordan Battle were phenomenal as usual. But you gotta love the Tide. I mean, you do. Gotta love the Tide. I'll get into our final scheduled segment. Again, this ran very quicker than I planned. A week 4 preview for the NFL. I think, at least in my eyes, in my kind of sort of biased opinion, the biggest question I'm asking is, can the Raiders finally break the goose egg out of the win column? Um, have I given up hope on them? No, not necessarily. Not yet. Not yet. Am I pretty close? Yeah, I'm pretty close. You got the Broncos at home. The Vikings and the Saints are already underway. I think the Vikings should win. But the Broncos, I mean, you get the Broncos. The Raiders are still somehow favored in that one. Um, I mean, it's not shocking. As the Raiders' offense, it hasn't looked bad. It's the defense that's lost them games in special. I shouldn't even say special teams, but it's Hunter Renfro. And the Broncos, I mean, my God, they are just terrible. They really should have swapped records right now when you think about it. Bills and Ravens, probably the big one for CBS games at least. Um, you know, two star powered quarterbacks, two great defenses. I like the Bills in that one though. Given 3 on the road, I don't see why not. Ooh, excuse me. Chiefs Bucks Sunday Night Football. I like. This kills me to say, but I like the Chiefs. I mean, I was the one who came on this show. It was like, Chiefs playoffs? No, not happening. They lost everybody. They lost just about everybody. Why are they gonna do it? That just doesn't. It didn't make sense for me to pick them in the playoffs. And no, I didn't do Tyler's take because what he wanted to talk about was strictly opinionated, and he was obviously going to lead it. And he had a whole thing going on in the head with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or something. That's why I didn't do so. That'll be the third segment. Once we get the full team, we'll have Brady's Bunch, Keegan's Corner, and Tyler's Take. Tyler wanted to talk about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and how he's one of the best of all time, which he is. But there you go. That's my opinion on it. He's one of the best of all time because he was ahead of his time. He was like, imagine Kareem playing now or even 20 years ago. It's the way I see it. That's why I did not touch upon Tyler's take because that was very opinionated. And he wanted to go his own thing with it. But wrapping up week 4, Cowboys got to win today. I mean, they're playing Washington. The Titans need a win. They're playing the Colts on the road. Pats and Packers, I mean, Packers I think should win. No reason why they can't. And then Monday Night Football, I don't even know who's on Monday Night Football. Oh, the Rams and the Niners. The Rams should win. I think, I hope. I'll go with the Rams. Go with the Rams by a touchdown on that one. And some last minute fantasy advice. Again, I'm 3-0 in my league. Nobody else is. I'll keep saying that because that's never happened before, and I'm very, very happy about it. I'll go with a quick stardom sit-em for quarterbacks. Start Cooper Rush. I can't believe I'm saying that, but you know what? Why not? Start Cooper Rush, and for the love of God, sit Russell Wilson. Sit Russell Wilson. He's not good right now. I don't know why. He's just not good. Cooper Rush is playing out of his mind. Again, Cooper Rush. When undrafted, I think out of like Central Michigan or some irrelevant school in the MAC. He's like 40 years old. He's been in the league since the dawn of time. And all of a sudden, when Dak comes back, you know what? I wouldn't be shocked to see Cooper Rush still remain, undrafted out of Central Michigan. That was a complete guess. 28 years old. It wouldn't shock me at all. To see Prescott get traded. And I know that sounds crazy, but that's the bottom line of the situation. Wilson has his team yelling pass. I know it's not. I don't understand because can we keep it real? I mean, it's a good team on paper. On paper, it's a phenomenal football club. I sound like I'm talking about soccer. Football team. Judy Sutton. I mean, if they had Tim Patrick back, I mean, I think he's the most underrated receiver in the league because he's 6'4" and he's got hands just as good as D Hop's. But because he played on the Broncos, he didn't get enough attention. And because his name is Tim, he didn't get enough attention. But even the running back duo with Gordon and Williams, and then the defense got so much better, with Randy Gregory coming into the mix. And you talk about underachievement, man. Now, granted, the Raiders are the most underachieving team I've seen in a while. And the Titans as well. I'll even go as far to say the Colts have underachieved. But the Broncos, I mean, people were putting them in the Super Bowl conversation. I disagreed with that. But people were putting them in the Super Bowl conversation, and they can't even get to 500. That's all from me. I got my fantasy, whatever. Those who play fantasy football, best of luck to you. Hope you win. Unless you're my friend Will LaBeouf I'm playing this week, then I hope you lose. I'll keep you posted what's going on Fans Only Sports Network. So today we've actually got a good slate of games. We do. Starting today, we got a Rhode Island St. M's doubleheader. U15s and U16s taking on taking on Pittsburgh Penguins Elite. Actually, that's going on right now. Matt Jolis had to get up at the crack of dawn to get those. And then actually, I'm going to be at Schneider tonight with Matt for some Providence Friars women's hockey they're taking on the Connecticut Huskies. Tomorrow we got a quadruple header of events. We're at Cranston East and we're at Cranston West. Thunderbolts girls soccer taking on Shea and volleyball taking on LaSalle. And for the Falcons, boys soccer taking on Charahoe, who I called the girls game against Charahoe yesterday, and women's volleyball taking on South Kingstown. Then on Tuesday, Mount Hope girls soccer. I'm not sure who they're playing. And Cranston East boys soccer is taking on Shea. I can actually find out who the Huskies are playing right now. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Just going out every day, every assignment, doing our best, doing what we can. And I appreciate you folks over there, all the love. So the boys soccer, who has yet to find a win this season. Actually, no, not boys soccer. They're home on Friday to take on Wakefield. I don't think we're doing that game. The girls soccer, that's what I wanted. They've actually had a strong year. They're 5-1-2 to start the year. They have Pilgrim they're taking on Pilgrim at home. So this Friday, another great slate of games, at least for some Ocean State Friday Night Lights. We're at a West Warwick, taking on Rogers. Cranston West taking on Bishop Hendricken. That game was moved to Cranston Stadium. They had to take it out of Errett Field. They're going to Cranston Stadium because the amount of people that is expected to be at that game is going to be through the roof. Mountain Pleasant is taking on East Providence, but we had a typo in our newsletter. I'm not sure what sport that is, so I'm going to try to find out. Yeah, no, I like West Warwick a lot. We saw them in Injury Fund, and I had the chance to see them play West, and that's a good football group. It really, really is. Yeah, so we've got East EP and Mount Pleasant in Providence. So I've seen the Townies. I know what they can do when Trey Resendi starts at quarterback. That's the key word. I know what they can do when Trey Resendiz starts at quarterback. That's been the oh, I agree. I agree. And at least with Division Two, I'll be honest, I've seen more Division Two than I've seen more Division Three in RIIL. I've seen the film. I haven't seen Trey play in person yet, and I can't wait. If I get the chance, I can't wait to watch the kid play because he's legit. I mean, the kid's gonna go Division One for basketball, but it should not be a platoon. And that's no disrespect to Max Whiting, because the kid has a lot of potential. It is no disrespect to him, because you know what? He led that offense back. He did. Him and Stephen Clark and Yusuf Abdullah led that offense back on Friday against West. It's no disrespect to him. But when it comes down to this platoon, both have great strong arms. Both are very, have a great intellect. Oh, absolutely. I'm giving them all the credit in the world. They have great intellect. Both have, great arms. But Trey, at the end of the day, he's just more athletic. And you know what? Sometimes you need that more athletic guy to scramble and get you first down and more. And the ball placement for Whiting was whatever he throw, it was too high. So he's going to work on bringing that down lower. And again, I love Max. He's a great ball player. It's no disrespect to him. Same thing with Trey. It's no disrespect to anybody. But facts are the facts. And I think if you're EP, you gotta you're weighing your options. I like Rosani. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to get the platoon to keep everything fresh and unpredictable. I get it. But they could realistically do what the Raiders did. And I know I keep going back. That's a bad example. You could say, I guess, maybe the Saints, where they run the two quarterback, where for a while they had Breeze or Winston and Hill. When Taysom Hill would come in on those, like the wildcat, but it'd be just a direct snap to him and they'd read option. I'd love to see them do something like that, but just mix it up throughout the game. Instead of just going with, if you're going to do a platoon, instead of like just Trey 1 week and just Max 1 week, because I mean, you're 2-2, and that's great. Like, that's not a bad spot to be in. I mean, considering who you had on the schedule, I mean, you took care of Pilgrim, you beat St. Ray's, you beat St. Ray's, okay, but you lost to Cumberland pretty badly. Only the top four make it, but at the same time, you look at who's on their schedule. I mean, all right, they're gonna lose to Hendricken, I would think, but are they gonna lose to East Greenwich? I don't think so. Are they gonna lose on Friday to Mount Pleasant? Probably not. Are they gonna lose to LaSalle on Thanksgiving? Maybe. That's a non-league game, and the division games matter. And then they have Burnaville. It says twice on the schedule. That could be wrong, but nonetheless, I think EP they got to tweak a couple things, and they're right in there with everybody else. They are. They're right in there. And the biggest thing, they got to figure out that quarterback situation. And my God, they got to figure out the special team situation. I know the squib kicks are tough, but I mean, there were West could have recovered their own kickoffs multiple times through that game. So if you know what, if it comes down to a point where you just get it and you fall on top of it, then maybe that's something you got to do. But they're right there. They are so close to having us just go, wow. Because we're not doing that with EP yet. We're not to say we're doing that with West yet either. We're doing that with Marcus Chung. I tell you that right now. Absolutely 100%. That kid is a phenomenal ball player. But Cranston West as a whole, we're not going. We're going wild with their student section because they got the best fans of the state. One of the best fans of the sections of the state. But a team I look at and I go, wow, Hendricken, St. Ray's, heck, LaSalle. Those are teams I just go, wow. I'm phenomenal. Oh, I agree. It's been like this. And that's not even just across football, too. All sports. Soccer. Central. I forgot about Central. Soccer. I mean, oh, man. Charahoe. What happened? Y'all beat EP 5-0, and then I called their game yesterday against Crystal West, and they looked out of sync. Now, granted, the weather was terrible. The weather was awful. Absolutely just disgusting. Pouring rain throughout. But the set pieces, I'll say this. One of my favorite players to watch on that team is Tori Babineau. She is, class. Constant, just class at that center back spot. Constantly on the ball, winning duels. You know what I mean? Like, that's your dream center back. A tough kid. Now, they're getting a big spark back in Tessa Azanaro. Sprained her ankle in that Mount Hope game. She'll be back next week, according to the Charahoe coaching staff. But don't look away from the smaller schools like Mount Hope, because that's a good team. The boys' side, they have the potential. They just don't have the tactics, in my opinion. And again, it's no disrespect to anybody, but that's just the way it is. But, man. This is going to be across all of our sports. And this is just the fall, keep in mind, right? On Fans Only Sports Network. Wait till the winter, because that's going to even be more fun. I'll leave it at that. So thank you all for joining. I appreciate it. We'll be back next week, hopefully with Keegan or Tyler, or maybe even again, we're working on trying to get a couple different people on the show. So again, this has been the Sports Saga Podcast. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your day.